Welcome to 99th Monkey Liberty News for Thursday, October 9th, 2014. I'm starting with the good news today. Normally I end with good news, but today I'm beginning with good news. From Natural News, scientific study reveals conspiracy theorists the most sane of all. And I wanted to start with that news today because I'm going to just dive right in head first to some pretty intense conspiracy theories. So don't feel baffled and confused. Feel smart, because we conspiracy theorists are the most sane, and I've also seen articles the most intelligent. So here we go. This was posted yesterday. I saw it, and it's really just kind of for fun. Just an open mic. We're screwed. Major Garrett open mic briefing U.S. response to Ebola outbreak, October 3rd. This was a press conference, open mic, and he said we're screwed. Now, I don't know if he was referring to Ebola or being caught so unprepared, or who knows. He may even been aware that here's a deeper conspiracy theory. He was aware that the mic was open, and he wanted people to think that we're screwed. So, you know, as Pee Wee Herman said, his mind is like a giant sweater, and it just keeps knitting and knitting and knitting. So it's difficult to interpret these things sometimes, but I thought that was interesting. Yesterday, Michael Savage was on the Alex Jones show, and it was a very good interview. What I would like to mention that Michael Savage talked about was his in his new book. He wrote some things about Benghazi, and 15 of the people who could have testified, who knew what happened, have all been killed. They're no longer alive and no longer available to testify, unfortunately. So that puzzle needs to be pieced together through other means. And I noticed this tweet this morning. It's kind of cryptic. Zero Hedge tweeted, Lagarde, emerging markets should brace for volatility as Fed exits. LOL, Fed exits. And that might just mean that they're not trying to control things anymore. Certainly, if you invest, you are aware that the markets have been a mess. They're trending down, but with up days at certain points, and gold and silver are finally beginning to recover some of the ground that they've lost. And last I looked today, gold and silver are up and the markets are down. But that reverses, and it's just been really erratic. And yeah, I would certainly, we've seen volatility, and whatever exactly this means that the Fed exits, I would like to believe that the Fed is really going to exit and not exist anymore. But in talking about this with Don, he thinks it probably just means that they're not interfering as much in what's going on. From Electronic Frontier Foundation, DEFCON router hacking contest reveals 15 major vulnerabilities. And the quote from one of the hackers, I could take down the internet with that, and so could you. The contest was a success, and the results are alarming. Participants documented 15 new zero-day vulnerabilities, including 7 full router takeovers. These attacks took place on track 0 of the contest. From Rumor Mill News, I have the Poofness Midweek Report. And yeah, as I said, we're diving headfirst into the conspiracy theories. And this is pretty out there. There's not documentation, any kind of proof that these statements are true. It's something that if you're interested, you just have to take on faith. But according to this report, a lot of people have, a lot of groups have signed off, including the cabal. I'm not sure why, people would want to make agreements with the cabal for anything, anticipating that they would keep their word. But at some point, it seems inevitable that with more and more people becoming aware of the kinds of deceptions and the kind of treachery that we've all been subjected to, that the evil people who function based on deception would be exposed to the extent that they can no longer function in the deception to which they are accustomed. But one interesting thing that was mentioned in this that I especially want to draw attention to is the discovery of the tomb of Alexander. A good friend and brother was one of the discoverers. Inside the tomb are the usual trinkets, and most importantly, books, technologies, and vast secret knowledge meant for humanity. And that is a fact. Alexander's tomb, it is believed, has been discovered. And according to the Poofness Report, there's information there about technologies that can greatly benefit mankind and will be used to do so. So hopefully all of this good information that is allegedly there will be released for the benefit of mankind. And while I was on, I don't always visit the Rumor Mill News website, but while I was there, I noticed this, and I just couldn't resist including this today. Princess Grace Kelly video, P2 Lodge membership published 2 weeks before her death. Boston breaks, and I don't think this is new. I think this YouTube video has been around for a while. But again, I found this kind of interesting. And she's long been an interesting figure for anybody who's old enough to have watched some of the Hitchcock movies that she made. And the idea that her family agreed to let her marry the Prince of Monaco, and it's in a way it's a fairy tale, but considering the way it ended, the way her life ended, not altogether a happy fairy tale. I want to just scroll through. I was on network blogs this morning and noticed a lot of really interesting articles from Another Voice, and I just want to scroll through them, not emphasize them a lot, just to show what's out there for people who don't surf a lot. There really are a lot of interesting ideas out there, a lot of interesting conspiracy theories. It really depends on how deep you want to wade into all of this. There's, the people who believe in disclosure, that aliens are going to be revealed soon. People who are more concerned with health issues, like the people who expose vaccine truth. There are just so many branches, and I really try to take an overview and draw from as many of them as possible. And so this caught my eye this morning. I just want to scroll through these headlines from Another Voice Revelation. This is a Christian-oriented alternative news website. Second false prophecy, blood moon, and ISIS, Ebola, and Katy Perry ZWO, geoengineered perfect storm. That's one headline. Ordo Ab Chow hacker PSYOP repeated again, JP Morgan. Call for major cybersecurity legislation. Repeated also. And I will stop with these two because my system resources are kind of overwhelmed by the scrolling. But this is the one that really caught my eye. Common Core in the Global Slave Class, Teaching Subtraction by Addition. I haven't said a lot about Common Core, so I did really want to draw in this article. But then there's also, from another voice, unexplainable mini tsunami hits Turkey September 25th. Tsunami bomb Illuminati card trick. So yeah, again, that's for people who really are interested in conspiracy theories. There's a lot out there that you will probably find satisfying reading. And again, just as a reminder, the first article that I had today, that conspiracy theorists really are the most sane people, not the most crazy people, because we look around and ask questions about what's happening, and this is certainly something that happened that merits some questions being asked. Fireballs in the sky over Davison, Michigan, video number 2. And I learned about this from the Vatican Project, and the Vatican Project just suggests some possibilities about that. But certainly these are not typical chemtrails. They appear to be chemtrails, but there's no plane, no vehicle that you can see, and they are spiraling downward. So it's as if something was dropped. It's difficult to tell. But again, for people who are hungry for conspiracy theories, here's a good one to chew on for a little while. And even though I had the main good news at the beginning today, I also found this to be good news from vactruth.com. India holds Bill Gates accountable for his vaccine crimes. And India is filing some lawsuits regarding some of the children who were vaccinated. Did not find it a positive experience. So even though people in the U.S. don't seem to be all that aware of this kind of thing, at least on a large scale, people in India and other countries are very much aware, and I'm delighted to see that this lawsuit is being filed, and this is certainly something to share with friends who have young children who are considering having them vaccinated. This is real. This is not a figment of somebody's imagination who sits in a dark room with one light bulb alone and worries about everything. This is real. This is true. Not just theory, but fact. Thank you for tuning in for today's 99th Monkey Liberty News. Weeping may endure for a night, but joy comes in the morning. Hoping that you will love one another, take care, and insist on liberty.